Hey, Wired to Fish fans, when it comes to throwing a football jig, you know, this time of year, pre-spawn, post-spawn, you know, the time of year when a lot of things are happening. You know, color's one of the key things that a lot of people, everybody's got their confidence color, and that's definitely the first place to start. But one of the biggest things when I start looking at color is trying to figure out exactly what the fish are feeding on. Now, when you first show up at a lake, that can be difficult to do. But you always have that assumption, you know, yes, fish are feeding on crawfish, they're going to be feeding on shad. But to me, there's more to it than that. You know, you have brim, you have bluegill, you have so many different variations of bait fish and forage for these bass to feed on. Whatever the primary forage is really the color of jig that I want to throw. If I know that fish are feeding on crawfish, I'm going to throw something really natural that looks like a crawfish. But if I'm in that in-between state where I don't really know if they're feeding on crawfish or if they're feeding on brim, you know, that's what you got to do to try to dictate it. One of my favorite colors is peanut butter and jelly smoke, and this is actually hot peanut butter and jelly. Hot peanut butter and jelly is essentially peanut butter and jelly, a little bit of amber, some red in it. And this is kind of one of those colors, in my opinion, that just kind of takes in the whole realm. It looks like a crawfish, but it's got some bright colors in it, so it could be mistaken for a brim. Peanut butter and jelly smoke, though, when you're fishing for those fish that are feeding on bait, you know, shad and crawfish, in my opinion, peanut butter and jelly smoke is probably the hardest color to beat because you've got that smoke-colored bottom, but the top of the jig is brown colored like a crawfish. So when that bait's falling through the water column, those fish are seeing that smoke color. Once it hits the bottom, it turns into a crawfish, in my opinion. So that's some of the reasons and the things that I do to choose color whenever I show up at a lake.